I'm going crazy, sitting on that train, and I don't think I'm ever coming home. Don't think I'm lazy, don't think I'm strange. I do think I'm really just losing it all. 'Cause I'm going crazy. Yes, I'm going crazy.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday night. How are you? It's been so long, hasn't it? 3 or 4 weeks now. I don't know why. Been busy. Band played a couple gigs. That's a nice thing, right? We were out at Medway, right? We did that. That was a Monday, though. We did their town common or the park, concerts in the park. And then we did the Franklin Town Common. That was a Friday night, so we didn't do the show. It was great. Franklin did such a fantastic job. They circled some, they used some paint to make circles, 6 feet away from the other circles, make it nice and safe for everybody. There was one way in, one way out. They did such a great job keeping everybody in control. But it's good to be back. It's good to be live on Facebook right now. Tell all your friends about the show. A couple things before we get to Michael, Boozing with Michael, which doesn't sound the same as Boozing with Bill. But it's we have a guest boozer tonight, and that's Michael Agajanian from Central Tavern. He'll be making a drink with me, or I'll be making a drink with him. I got all the ingredients. I think we're making a daiquiri tonight, so stick around for that. Speaking of bands, let me give you some plugs here. The Pub Kings are playing the Savannah Grill at Southwick Zoo. That's right outside of Galliford's. They got a nice big tent. Everyone is socially distanced. Everyone stays at their seats and enjoys the show. And the ostriches love us. And that's not a joke. We started playing. They came rushing to the fence, and people got up from their tables and started coming towards us because we were in the corner right in front of the ostriches. We couldn't see them. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're playing our first song. It's just the first song and everyone's rushing the stage. This is amazing. And they went right past us to take pictures and selfies with the ostriches. No selfies with the band, just selfies with the ostriches. I have been doing some social media stuff lately. And maybe since we last talked, I picked up a few clients, and I'm really enjoying doing the social media. If you guys need help, if you're a business, need help with your social media, I'm your guy. Dr. Roof, one of my new clients, they cover your assets. 888-ROOF-550, local, Bellingham, works the entire region, and just a great guy. You know, we just had this storm. If you have any siding issues, roof issues, or gutter issues, Dr. Roof is going to take care of you. Just check your house this weekend. Check the outside of your house. Make sure everything's fine. If it's not, give them a call. If you're a little worried, give them a call. I'm also working with TC Scoops. That's just a little campaign I came up with for their libations. It's an ice cream shop in Medway, but they have ice cream. They have scoop dogs, which are delicious hot dogs, and they have libations. They have beer, a great selection of local beer, and mixed drinks, and you can combine that with ice cream like this right here, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Fireball whiskey. You had me at Fireball. What's that second thing? Oh, rum shala? I don't know what that is. And Graham Central Station ice cream. And then I'm working with Red Farm Golf, and they're looking for help, by the way. They need somebody to take care of the grounds, manage the course. And Red Farm Golf is located in Upton. It's a par 3, a lot of fun, very short walking distance, so you're not going to get all tired out. And that's it. Those are I have someone else too, and I can talk to him as I bring him up here. I've been doing some work, and I will be doing some work with Central Tavern. I'm very excited. And we have Michael Agajanian. I thought you were Jack. I'm sorry. Michael.
Oh, hey.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Putting your pants on? What's going on?
Yeah, just being silly.
I was just telling people about I'm doing some shameless plugs about the social media clients I picked up, and I am going to be working with you in the near future. I'm very excited about that.
Yes, very excited. We're getting closer to being able to open. Wow, that's
my wife trying to sneak out.
Yeah, there she is.
Sorry. She's very sneaky.
I won't ask.
So before we Before we before we do the drink, let me ask you about Central Tavern and what's to come in the next month or so. You're one of the few restaurants or eateries that haven't been open throughout this whole thing, but for a very good reason.
Yeah, we've been renovating like crazy. And so we decided to take this time to go through the whole facility. And honestly, the past 2 weeks have been all about plumbing. So I don't have anything exciting, but we've literally, no joke, have had to replace all the cast iron in the basement, and just from years of use. So we've been doing the plumbing, which should be finished Monday. And the good news, actually, we've started putting things together. Like we put speakers up 2 days ago.
Nice.
So we're starting to actually pay attention to the front of the house. The new cocktail stations are in. We bought 9 new tables today at Westerman's in Worcester. So, the wife and I have been doing a lot of renovation. So we're hoping, by the end of August, to be able to start to reopen in some fashion. We're not exactly sure yet because we're, obviously watching the numbers. So we don't want to open up too early. But we should be ready in the next 2 weeks to actually start to do a soft opening, and then do some kind of invite-only invitation party to actually celebrate opening up the tavern again.
I think people are going to be very surprised. You have a nice lounge area. That's where the pool table used to be. You've got the cocktail station. What else is new that's going to surprise? But I don't want to give it all away, by the way.
The big feature is the garage, the glass garage door. So we felt we wanted to put a big window in, so we decided to put this giant glass garage door in. So we did that with a bar rail. So we're hoping we're working with the Board of Health to see how we can go ahead and make sure we can open up that door, and you can lean on the bar rail and have a cocktail and look outside and heckle people driving by. We worked for the town. So the front of the tavern now is a loading zone. So we want to offer takeout. Before, we couldn't really do takeout because there wasn't much parking. So we worked for the town, and we created a small loading zone in front of the tavern, which will allow us to do takeout. It'll also allow our deliveries to come in and not block off the roads and stuff like that. So what else is new?
I think the bands will be very excited because there's going to be full sound there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we literally put up our new Bose speakers yesterday. So we're putting up our own house system. So two subs built into the stage, and then 2 PA speakers on the sides of the stage, as well as 6 satellite speakers throughout the facility. And the goal there is to make sure that the sound is nice and even throughout it. The feedback that I got when we bought it was sometimes you'd go in there and you want to talk to a friend while listening to a band, but it was just either so loud or the sound quality was poor. You either couldn't hear your friend or your ears hurt, or we definitely want to work with our local sound engineers to make sure that the sound is properly done in the facility. So moving forward, the goal is that if a band's playing, you'll still be able to hear the person next to you if you're sitting at the bar. But if you want to get that loud experience, you can go up on the dance floor and hear it.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Can't wait. And awesome cocktails. I know from talking to you, you're planning on retooling the menu. There's going to be a nice selection of high-end cocktails, your favorite cocktails, and I mean all around your favorite beers, craft beers. You're going to go all out with this, and that's why I have you on now to introduce us to one of your favorite concoctions. So to translate into Central Tavern, which we're looking forward to.
I'm really excited to start to educate the Milford area on craft cocktails. And the tavern is going to be fully set up to do craft cocktails. We'll do everything from fun ones to light them on fire, to doing, kind of theatrical cocktails, all the way down to just a simple, like old fashioned or a classic daiquiri, which is what we're going to do tonight. So tonight, tonight we're going to do a classic daiquiri. So, this is actually my favorite cocktail and also my go-to cocktail. But let me find a bottle of rum.
Is it really? And why is that? Because of the rum?
Yeah, well, sort of. Let me pick my rum. What do you have for rum?
I have the blue chair. I was telling you about this. This is Kenny Chesney's.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think he's making it, but his name is on it.
Yeah.
And anything that reminds me of the islands is a good rum.
Yes. So we're going to choose. Well, we're gonna. I want some pineapple in my rum. So we're gonna do it's called Plantation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I use Plantation a lot. They have pineapple rum. They actually infuse the rum with pineapples.
Is that the rum that you put in one of the pepperoncinis drinks? Did I see that when you were making? I don't know which one it was. Maybe.
No, actually, we used
No.
we used Myers rum.
Then okay.
Which
All right, never mind.
Anyways, yeah. So, so for people at home, this is a classic daiquiri. So usually when you say a daiquiri, people immediately think of like blending ice and whatnot, which are fantastic. So that's a daiquiri with crushed ice, right? A frozen daiquiri. This is a classic daiquiri. Classic daiquiri is super simple. So
hold on, you keep talking. I forgot my limes. I got to run upstairs. Go.
Yeah. So basically, grab any rum that you have at your house. It doesn't really matter what rum, your favorite rum. I'm picking this Plantation tonight. Then I would pick fresh lime. Always use fresh citrus. Fun fact: if citrus sits around for too long, it actually tones down the flavor. So to keep the citrus bright, you want to use it within 4 or 5 hours of squeezing it. Oh, you got it.
Freshly squoze.
Yeah, I was just talking about. So citrus, if it stays out too long, huh? Oh,
I could hear you going upstairs. Yeah.
You're so fancy.
I got the things.
So we're gonna use rum, a fresh lime, and then we're gonna use some simple syrup. I always label my syrups so they don't sit too long and get gross.
Now, Michael, I have 0 sugar simple syrup. I know, right?
That's actually kind of interesting.
It's sort of like an oxymoron, isn't it? I would think.
That's kind of weird. Well, it's All right. Anyway, okay. So classic daiquiri.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my little jigger. So first thing we're gonna do is get our shaking tins, some ice.
I just have one. I'm not as fancy as you are with this.
Oh, well,
got one.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I mean,
it's not crushed either.
No, we're not crushing any ice tonight.
Oh, okay.
No, good. Tonight is going to be very interesting. I'll show you. All right, so we get our shaking tin, 2 ounces of rum. We're going to do what's called a 2-1-1 daiquiri. 2 ounces of rum.
Yep.
1 ounce of lime, and then 1 ounce of simple syrup. So I'm going to squeeze my lime tonight because I'm fancy.
Did you say 1 ounce of simple syrup?
Yep.
Okay.
So 1 ounce, 1 lime is about 1 ounce of liquid. Just a fun fact. So if a drink calls for 1 lime, it's usually 1 ounce of liquid. Okay. So
I did the same thing.
Yeah, you're great, Ray.
I use organic limes too.
Oh, you are so fancy. See?
Yeah. $4 for 3 of them.
Yeah. So again, 2 ounces of rum, 1 ounce of 1 ounce of lime juice, and then 1 ounce of simple syrup.
Good.
Okay.
Don't forget to smile. You're not smiling. There you go. Dapper would say you got to smile, and those bartenders on that show are creepy. I would never smile like that in front of anybody.
That's right. Yeah. So, so now a classic daiquiri back in like the early days, like the 1940s and whatnot, they would serve it in a coupe.
A coupe?
Yeah, a coupe, which is my favorite.
I'm going to use fresh ice.
And we're straining it.
Oh, you're straining it? No.
It's fine. But it's fine. Just throw the ice in and put it in there.
Now you're making me nervous.
No, it's fine. We're not that fancy here.
You're never going to hire me.
No, it's fine. So, yeah, there you go. I
can smell it.
Yeah, okay.
Did you tell everybody what simple syrup does? It's like liquid sugar, right?
Simple syrup. Ooh, I love daiquiris.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's super good. The reason I like a daiquiri, it's a very well balanced cocktail. You know, you can taste the rum, you can taste the citrus, and then you can taste the sweetness of the simple syrup. Simple syrup is just 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and it's just that. It's literally sugar syrup.
Nice.
And it's important to shake your cocktail. Shaking it aerates it, it chills it, and then it adds water, which is the most important ingredient. So, yeah. Anyways, so
opens up the flavor.
Yeah. So this is a classic daiquiri. This is in a coupe, and yours is in a little mason jar.
Mason jar. Yeah, mine's redneck. Alex, I did. See, I did that before. I did that like a half hour. But I'm so prepared. I laid everything out a half hour ago.
Alex, you're hired.
But thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And garnish? Did you garnish?
No, actually, I didn't garnish.
That's also important.
It is true. It is true.
All right, buddy. What else is going on? What can I leave you with? Anything to plug? Anything to push? You're just working hard at Central, right? Getting it up and running. Central
is my main focus right now. So we're hoping, like I said, to get up and operational. However, during the week, if anybody ever stops by and I'm there, feel free to come in and say hi.
I thought I was special. I thought I was the only one that was allowed in there, but it's an open invitation.
Well, I'm being friendly. And for everybody out there, Ray is helping us with social media. He obviously has a great social media presence, so we're helping him out. He's helping us out. Actually, Tim Rice is coming on Monday.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Tim's going to be doing a lot of photographs of the inside and food and drinks and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Tim's coming in on Monday to do some progress photos. So we're going to post some photos online later next week on the progress that we've made. That is a good relationship to have right there. Yeah, Tim's great. What should I put in this to make a shot? It's 1 ounce of lime. I swear that's lime, by the way. Yeah, no, you want to do a shot of that? Yeah. What would I add to this? I would just do like 2 ounces of rum. Well, that's a big shot. I mean, a shot's usually like 1.5 ounces. I would just use rum. All right, 1.5 ounces, you say? Okay. Well, I would. All right, cheers, buddy. Cheers. No shots for me. I have nowhere to go. Hey, a nice thing about daiquiri too is if it's too sweet, you can just lessen the simple syrup. That's right. Yeah. All right, bud. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. And I will talk to you real soon. Yeah, I'll see you probably Monday. All right, bud. See ya. Bye. Michael Agajanian from Central Tavern, and I can't wait for that place to open. I got a sneak peek. It was a little messy at the time, but he's been working hard to clean it up, get it all ready for you cats, and it is going to be something special. A couple things before we get to our next guest. I'm very excited about talking to our next guest. Governor Baker just rolled back the attendance for outside gatherings to 50 from 100. That's going to put a damper on many things, and it's going to be tough on the restaurants. So I wish all the restaurants and pubs and eateries out there the best as they navigate their way through this COVID-19 thing. One of the casualties, can you believe it? Dick's Last Resort in Boston is closing for good. And this gives me the opportunity to confess something publicly. Maybe you've seen her on stage before. Maybe you've seen her in the background in Mantown. But this is Mona. And Mona came off one of the shelves at Dick's Last Resort about 15 years ago. And I've had her ever since. I feel so much better getting that off my chest. That was a fun night. And then this did say Dick's Last Resort on it. Funny that I have this in front of me for my beer, but it got washed off. That's how cheaply they were made. It got washed off in the dishwasher. But this was also from Dick's Last Resort. What a thief I was, right? My younger years. 15 years ago was not my younger years, by the way. All right, I'm going to pour a beer, and then we're going to listen to a brand new song from our next guest, which is very cool. And the beer I chose tonight is from Moat Mountain Brewing Company. We went up there in February with some friends, and I think they went. We were behind, so we didn't get a chance to go to Moat, but it's up in the North Conway area. And this is the Miss V's Blueberry Ale. I'm not normally a fruity beer kind of guy, but I think this might be really relaxing and refreshing tonight. So I'm going to pour this beer, and then we're going to hear a brand new song from our next guest, and then we're going to talk to our next guest. Oh, look, it's like ruby in color. I like it. Smells good. It smells all right. I don't want to
All right, we'll see how it tastes in just a second. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few minutes, I am going to be talking to Brian O'Neill from the BusBoys. You're going to recognize him as soon as you see him, and you're going to recognize the sound. Although, from what you know of the BusBoys, this one's a little rocky. I'm very excited about this song here. So let's check out Civil Rights from the BusBoys. I almost said on 101.3 My FM. Oh, I started in the middle. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to start over. Here we go.
We just need to open our eyes and our ears and our hearts.
Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi.
But what together we can do for the freedom of man.
I'm what's left of your civil rights. Beat down, broken, and left for dead. I'm what's left of your civil rights. Might be some truth in what I've said. We have the right to remain silent, because everything you say can and will be used against you. There's a thin line where you can find it. Separates the deeds of elected kings and common thieves. I'm what's left of your civil rights. It's been bloody, but still is held up high. I'm what's left of your civil rights. Can't kill what will not die. Have the right to remain silent, because everything you say can and will be used against you. There's a thin line, if you can find it, that separates the deeds of elected kings and common thieves. I'm what's left of your civil rights. It's been bloody, but still is held up high. I'm what's left of your civil rights. Can't kill what will not die.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And that is Civil Rights from the BusBoys. And let's bring in Brian O'Neill from the BusBoys. Brian, you there?
I am, but I don't know.
No video. I can hear you.
Video. Hold on. What? See, you're on the. She says I'm on the show.
Yeah, you're here.
Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Cam.
There you are. What's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. A little closer to the microphone. If you could just step up just a little bit.
My assistant just told me that was going to be the case. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah. I talked to the lead singer of Steelheart the other day, and he had a studio mic plugged into his laptop. So he's talking here, and the studio mic is way back there. And the whole interview got shot because he couldn't bring the mic close enough to hear him. So glad I can hear you this week.
Ray,
so
I'm
the
glad to
BusBoys
be here, man. Been watching your show. Pretty interesting thing you got going there.
Well, I started this because everybody was stuck at home and everybody was bored and, needed some, everyone's listening and going out and seeing shows. So I thought, let's do something online so that everybody can, just kind of get lost. This is kind of a silly show. We drink a little bit. We talk about music. We talk about beer, and we just talk about having a good time, because that seems to be what we're losing a little bit, is the good feeling, the good vibes. And that worries me about the coronavirus thing going on, that we got to stay on top of things. And with everything else that's going on in the world, and we're going to talk about that with civil rights. I mean, it's very poignant imagery and lyrics, but also rocking at the same time. I love that. So that's why I started doing the show. And I love having guys on like you because you really take us back to some fun times, man.
Well, it's fun times, good times. We're all American rock, roll, and soul band. It's just what we do.
Yeah, so that's it. You know, you weren't just pigeonholed to R&B or soul or funk. I mean, you guys, just like that new song right there, Civil Rights. That's a rocking song, man.
Yeah, man. That's what, you know, like I said, what we do. We've been doing this, man, since I don't know, a long time, since 1980.
Well, see, now 1980 for me, that's not a long time ago. So I like to think we're all in the same wheelhouse where those are the good old days, but they're not the olden days.
Yeah. So we're still doing it, man. And we love making music, and it's not all one dimensional either way. You know what I mean? It's not all about just civil rights or things that have to do with social issues. It's also about having a good time and having some fun and a little dating in there too. You know?
Well, I mean, the older songs, "Boys Are Back in Town" is a staple for good times. Again, the imagery of that, seeing you guys on in the movie 48 Hours on stage at SNL, hanging out with Eddie Murphy. I think it's very close to say that song could be iconic for that time period.
Well, actually, it's a classic. Well, that's the reason everybody should be singing in the house tonight. And you should grab your favorite lady and promise her you do it right. Tell Fat Jack to jump back and give you a shot of some booze, so you can party to some stomp down, but bumping rock and roll, rhythm and blues. Yeah, I said the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Yeah. I said the boys are back in town, And when the boys are back, there ain't no fooling around.
Brother, I think you could have just made my 2020 right there. You absolutely made my 2020. Between that and the Ghostbusters soundtrack, cleaning up the town. I mean, those are in 1980. I was 8 years old. So, and when Ghostbusters came out, maybe 12. But man, those songs really still resonate with me even to today. And, you know, we've got that other Boys Are Back in Town song, which is a great song. Don't get me wrong. But whenever somebody says that song, you know, the boys are back in town. Yeah, the one from the BusBoys. That's the one I remember, man.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing. I'm a Thin Lizzy fan. Knew Phil Lynott not well, but have met him. And their song was written before ours. And as I say, I'm a Thin Lizzy appreciator. But I always say it's a British thing.
There you go.
You know, English thing, which is great. Ours is an American rock and roll, butt bumping, soul get down thing, you know? So there's the British version of Boys Are Back. We got the American version. Boys Are Back in Town.
You've got the bar version of that. You've got that comes on the jukebox. Even today, people are singing that song, man. So let's go back a little bit. Now, you have a relationship with Eddie Murphy. You did back in the day. He got you. Well, he met you on Saturday Night Live. Is that right? You guys played on Saturday Night Live, and he took a liking to you, and you ended up following him on tour, on his Delirious tour, which is pretty amazing. But from all the videos I watched, everything I can remember, he spoke so highly of you. I feel like you guys were influential on his character, his comedy, and his music. Is that safe to say? Would you humbly say
wait
that?
A minute now, hold on. I know you're the interviewer and I'm the interviewee, but let's get some facts straight here.
Okay, go ahead. Set me straight.
First of all, you start off saying you guys were friends or used to be, and I was like, what? Do you know something I don't know? I think
That's just what I read. That's just what I read. That you guys became friends during the time that you spent with him on Delirious.
He's still a very good friend of mine, and we actually met on the set of the movie 48 Hours.
Okay, so it started there.
Yeah, so we just go back there, and he's an East Coast guy. He's a New York guy, and I'm here on the coast here in California. I'm a California mining man, and it was nice to welcome him here to California in a certain way. After we got to work together, and because we were on the stage at doing the bar scene for what they call Romans, and that's where we did Boys Are Back and New Shoes and whatnot. So I ended up giving a party, and Dick Ebersol, people won't know who that is, but
I know
the
who
kids,
president of NBC at the time.
That's correct. Ding ding ding! You're a winner. So Dick let us use his house, and I played host. Eddie got to use the house, and I played host, and we gave a big party. And ever since that party, man, we've been best of buddies.
That's awesome. And he's go ahead.
Just give up some things straight, too. 48. Okay, so we did 48 hours, and then we were buddies and did hang out and things, because we did a lot of studio work together and things off camera, stuff. Because he was here in Los Angeles for quite some time because he had other films to do.
Yeah,
working on Trading Places and other things, and we ended up going on Saturday Night Live, and he came and he decided, he says he dressed up as a busboy and came and sang Boys Are Back with us. If anybody can, again, use your Google machine, get back there and see that. And then after the thing, he said, man, let's go on tour together. Why don't you guys come open for us? And I said, for me. And I said, okay. And we did that. Great tour. Great times together. That's something else you can pick up, the Delirious tour.
Yeah. Actually, it's something I put. Go ahead.
We had a lot of good times. A lot of different. I would like to think I've contributed something at different points to his perspective, as I know he has mine.
And I would think so. I mean, he got into music. He had that one song with Rick James, and I'm sure that you have fans who are superstars, that are celebrities. You must run into people that are like, I can't believe you, who is on top of the world, loves the BusBoys. That has to happen, because music and entertainment, acting and comedians and music, they go hand in hand, but one can certainly appreciate the other at a different level.
Yeah, well,
you're too humble, man. You're way too humble.
And you see people at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I don't go as much as I used to with the COVID thing, but
yeah,
you run into people all the time. And see, I don't think of it as much, even though I am in the business and I appreciate that. I don't think of it in those terms. I think of it as what do you do? What's your artistic skill? And some of us have more success than others, or are more well known than others at different times. But it's not what I think of it as. And somebody asked me the other day, don't you have some friends at the stars? I guess so. But I don't even think of it that way, man.
I got you. Just that comment from John, big fan of the 80s BusBoys, have a cool CDR with the 3 best from the movie soundtrack, Boys Are Back in Town, New Shoes, and 48 Hours. Thanks, John. Thanks for watching. Brian, let's talk about civil rights. This awesome new song, which I'm sure you wanted to put out now because it's more important than ever. Well, I shouldn't say it's more important than ever, but it's about time that everyone is speaking up and taking notice of what's happening. You wanted to put together a song that gave a message, but you also rocked it out. It's something you can dance to. Tell me about how you produce something like that. How can you produce something with a message, but still is fun as hell?
Well, I'll take the compliment first and foremost. The truth of the matter is, I wrote that song a while back, and it just so happened that things came together at a certain time period, and it made it more appropriate, essential, and relevant. But I come from a family. My parents were teachers, and I'm born and raised here in California, and we used to go to protest for civil rights at various places throughout my childhood. Okay, so I mean, I can remember as young as, I think, 5, 6 years old, we protested, I remember, at the Biltmore Hotel, which is a iconic hotel downtown Los Angeles. And at that time, they didn't allow Black people to, A, get a room there, B, if you worked or performed there, you had to come in the back door. So even if you were a performer, if you were Sammy Davis or something like that, or Count Basie, you had to go in the back door, couldn't go in the front door. And that was,
it's funny because people paid big money to go see these people, but they had to come through the back door. The appreciation level was amazing back then. It just,
well, appreciation, yes, but then just as today, there's a great appreciation. I think people appreciate me, Eddie, Dave Chappelle, LeBron James, Kerry Washington. There's a lot of Oprah Winfrey. There's a lot of appreciation. There's still issues. Yeah. Anyway, I will tell you, just to say my bit of progress. I just tell my story.
Please.
We protested there. This was in the 60s. And by the time I was in high school or graduated, just when I graduated from high school, I had a band called Brian and Things, which became the BusBoys. But we were headlining shows at the Biltmore, and I was chasing girls up and down the hallway from my presidential suite. So that was a span of about 15 years. Wow. So a lot of things changed in that time period. Not to say that all things are done changing, which obviously this is the thing about the song. The song is really about the original American civil right, which was written into the Declaration of Independence. It says, all men are created equal. See, the moment you say that, then you're on. It's a whole different thing than...
How do you argue that? I don't understand how people can argue with that, you know? Yeah, all men are created equal.
People, places, and things that have ever existed. No other country, no other society, not Rome, not Greece, no other place, Egypt, no place in Europe, no place has ever declared that, made that their foundational thing. Well, if you just start there and work your way forward, then you have what the whole song and what the issues are about and how I feel.
Well, it's a fun song. It's a great song. It's got a great message, of course. And that's all we can do right now is spread the message and get the word out. And, you know, all men are created equal. Like you said, it's such a simple philosophy that we all need to embrace and hold tightly to. So thanks for the song. I appreciate that. Before I let you go.
Hold on. I got a question. Now, I heard somewhere that this is a drinking show.
What do you got?
Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story. All right?
Okay.
So there was this club here called Spice. This is in the 90s. And it was a big hangout for just a minute. It's like, everybody was there. A lot of rock and rollers, even Tom Jones. Anyway, before I get into all the name dropping, screw that. I was hanging there with Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains. Yeah. And then Slash was there too. We were hanging out. And
this is already the great start of a story. I love it. Jerry Cantrell and Slash, you're hanging out with them. Okay.
Yeah, so we're in, there's this little middle room that was between two performance rooms. And it had a piano in there, and I'm in there playing some Jerry Lee Lewis stuff and some Elvis stuff and thing. And I had asked the waitress to bring me my drink. And I was drinking Cavassier or something like that. And she didn't bring it. And I was like, oh, let me see that. Slash said, forget that. Do this.
Oh, that's my drink. That is my drink. And I don't happen to have a bottle with me. That's my jam.
I took one sip of that and then another sip, and I've been drinking it ever since. I'm an old number 7 guy. It's like you can, every now and then somebody can talk me into gentlemen, but no. I don't like any of the sweet stuff, none of the honey things. Leave me out. I am old number 7 man, a proud get down. And I have my favorite shot glass, which is New England Patriots.
Woo, look at that.
Yeah, baby.
Very nice.
Here's to you.
Here's to number 7. Here's to you, brother.
All
right. So I had somebody ask a question, and I don't know if he's still in the band. Vic Johnson, is he still with the band? He's with Sammy now, but is he still playing with you guys?
No. Vic has been playing with Sammy now for 20 years, I think, or about 20, 21 years.
But he is one of the original BusBoys, huh?
Vic's still featured on a lot of our classic records. You know, if you go Get New Shoes, Minimum Wage, Rock and Roll, the album, American Worker, that you can still hear a lot of Vic's work. And Vic and I were shoulder to shoulder for years and years. I mean, he joined the band in 1980 and didn't leave until, I don't know, 96, almost 2000.
Okay.
So he and I are brothers, you know.
That's good.
And I go hang out with, when Sammy comes to town, when I can make it, I go see their shows. And Sammy's a great guy. And, you know, Vic is doing well with that band and helping. I mean, I don't know what Sammy do without him, because it's hard to represent all the stuff that, all the Van Halen stuff, all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Then they slip into some Led Zeppelin and some other things. And Vic Johnson, for my money, my taste, he's probably the best and most versatile rock and roll guitar player that there is. And he's got the most solid tone. If you, I may be getting down to the weeds and technical for people, but if you want to see hear what rock guitar sounds like live, it's really good, man, go see Vic Johnson.
Yeah. We saw Sammy Hagar and Vic and Michael not too long ago, and Jason, maybe 2 years ago at the casino. And man, they were awesome. I would love to see them do a version of The Boys Back in Town. I could totally hear them do that.
I could too. And, you know, last time I saw Sammy and Vic and Mike too, I said, we were backstage just talking before their show. And Sammy was saying, we should get the BusBoys to come open for one of our shows, a Cabo Wabo thing or something. And I'm sure if that happened, there'd be some really great music, and there might be a little drinking going on too.
You think? New music coming up? You're still obviously writing, you're still performing, and it's tough right now to be performing, but more music from the BusBoys coming up?
Well, we have a whole album sitting in the can. I just did the singles so I could start this process, because we've been out of it for a little while. Hold on. So, but we've got more music coming, man. We've got another single coming probably before the end of the year. And then more singles, another single right after the first of the year with the release of the entire record. It'll be on CD and vinyl and digital and whatever else is invented between here and there.
Whatever you can get on. BusBoys.com. It's as easy as that. BusBoys.com plus Facebook and social media. You, man, again, in all honesty, and I'm not just blowing smoke. You performing Boys Are Back in Town on acoustic made my 2020. It absolutely did. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it. I'm going to have one more toast to you.
All right, you do that. Yeah.
And let me let you know that I'm a big, obviously, with my Patriots shot glass, I'm a big New England fan. My best buddy, Dave Bellman, lives in Manchester, New Hampshire. Yeah. So that's almost like one of my sister cities. And
is it really? So I lived up that way. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
I lived up that way. And I know you've spent time with Otis. I met Otis in Concord. Otis Redding. I mean, not Otis Redding, obviously. Otis Day and the Knights.
Yeah.
Played in Concord, which is close to Manchester. So I've got a lot of ties up to Manchester. But Otis Day, he's the man too.
Otis, another one of my brothers, man. It's like, we've done shows together, had great fun. You can see us doing some stuff on the website, busboys.com. And hey, Facebook, go to our Facebook page, you guys out there, like the BusBoys, and Huh?
YouTube.
Oh, well, so I'm being told I'm just a puppet. I just do it. No. Go out to our YouTube page and subscribe. Also, we got new stuff coming out, and then I'm also doing some. We're planning on figuring out how to get the right setting to do some things here in the house, and we're going to use some just acoustic instruments, just like I played acoustic guitar. We're going to play my piano back here, and we're going to do that and some different things, and maybe even pull a washboard in. But anyway, I'm loving some New England. All my friends and fans who are out there from that area, big heart, big love. Thank you for having made me feel welcome all these years. Please keep following us. I got really good stuff coming up. Some of it's surprising, but still, all great rock and roll. Here's to you all.
Thank you, Brian.
My new buddy. Let's
Great to meet you.
When I'm there, we'll get to do this in person.
Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to let up. I will stalk you till we meet. Thanks, brother. Take care.
Yes,
cheers.
Sir.
That's Brian O'Neill. How cool is that cat, right? All right, let's get on with the show here, and I'm sure we'll talk about that conversation with my next guest, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jay. What's up, Jay? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Good. Thanks for joining me, as always, for our little nightcap at the end of the show.
Yes, indeed. I'm coming to you live from Justo's backyard.
You're at Justin's house right now.
I am.
All right. Well, that's like the worst thing you could do. Hey, you weren't invited to Justin's.
We were talking about
We're going to invite you now.
Well, we're inviting you when you literally turn off your computer. You can hop over here.
I know. What are you drinking?
I have got some Jack's Abbey, Hoponius Union. This is always my go-to beer. We should do a show about beers, Ray. How about that?
That might be interesting. I don't know.
I think it would. It would be awesome.
We just have to come up with a name. That seems to be the biggest issue right now.
We have like 17, don't we?
We have many, but we just can't come. Maybe each week we have a new name. Maybe that's the thing.
Let me tell you a story about a little guy I know.
How cool was that?
Super cool. He looked like such a cool guy. Let's hang out with him when he comes up here.
He's going to do the social when he comes out here.
Hey, you better. That's awesome.
I don't know if that's true, but
it's true. It's damn true.
Just a happy guy. And I don't know about you, but I can easily blow smoke up anyone's ass. but that song is very iconic in my playbook, my songbook in my mind. That is one of those songs you hear it. You're like 48 Hours, BusBoys, love that song. Even the song from Ghostbusters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Forgive me, I did not listen to it yet. What's the song from 48 Hours?
The boys are back in town.
Okay, Jesus, yeah. I'm stupid.
You know that, yeah.
But I'm more familiar with the Ghostbusters one.
Cleaning up the town, yeah. No, it was really cool to speak to him.
Yeah.
And I have a line on the lead singer for Tora Tora. By the way. Yeah, he might be the next guest next week. He said he'd be happy to come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
They have a new song out as well. I love rediscovering some of these bands, and I do it on Wednesdays on my something old, something new.
I love it when you do that. I'm usually going into work when that happens, and I actually put it on. I'm like, oh, something old, something new.
Yeah, and it surprises you. Like, I had no idea those guys were still alive, never mind putting out music.
And that's what bothers me the most about radio these days. People keep coming out with new stuff. Now, I get it. You want to be safe. You want to be a radio station that wants to, when you click on the radio station, you want to stay there. But I am so sick of hearing the same songs over and over again. I want to hear all this new music. What's the deal? What's the deal with actually putting on that new music for like a week and then being, oh, you like that? Good. Now we're going to play you the old stuff from now on again. We're never going to go back to the old stuff, new stuff again. What is with that?
I don't know. I feel bad that some of these bands who are huge can't catch that break and get their new, like Tesla has a new song out. And I'll tell you what, they were a big band in the 80s during their time. They were one of the top bands. They really were. They put something out now. Rock stations aren't playing it. Have no idea why. It's still as good as it used to be.
Agreed. And I mean, the last album they came up with, Shock, I mean, it was fantastic. It was more in the vein of Def Leppard, but go figure why, because
Phil Collin produced it. Yeah.
Right. And it was amazing, though. I remember saying to myself, was Jeff Keith? He has still got he's got the pipes, man. He still sounds fantastic.
It's mostly the same band. They have one other new guitar player, but man, they still rock. They do. And even if Def Leppard came out with something new, it wouldn't be on the radio.
I know. It's, I've gone through their catalog because Def Leppard's still, I think, to this day, my favorite band. And so my Pandora is Def Leppard. So when it's Def Leppard radio, whatever, but when I turn it on, it plays me the majority of new Def Leppard songs, and I listen to them because I got them on in the shop as I'm working. But I'm shocked how much I love the new stuff too. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this song before. Now this is one of my favorites. It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, but again, you have to be a fan to discover those songs. Yeah. I go digging. I'll go down the rabbit hole and find new stuff. Colin Hay is another guy from Men at Work. He's been working for the last 20 or 30 years after Men at Work, doing his own indie thing, which is mostly folk. But it's really good. That guy is still rocking it.
Of course. And he still sounds amazing.
So how are you? Let's talk about you for a minute. What are you watching? What's new? You make your list?
All right. I didn't make a list, but I know a couple things. So I watched, me and Don watched, was it Bad Boys 3?
Yeah. What'd you think?
Loved it.
So there was no big secrets in this one. It's a continuation. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Which makes it good. It's like, oh, what's the twist? There's no twist. No. They just had another mission they had to handle, and they're getting a little older.
It's Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Literally the next day, Don puts on Bad Boys 1, and I'm like, this is just so great. And it's funny how, in my opinion, they transitioned perfectly. What was it, 10 years later or 12 years later, 15?
It's been a while, yeah.
Long. They were both in the car at the beginning. I'm like, yeah, this is them. They're perfect together. They were great buddy. And I love the fact that Martin was he put on some weight.
He did.
But I like that because do you remember what was the movie he did? Metro, which was another, and it was funny, and at the same time, it was another one of those type of movies. But he was trying to lose weight so bad for that. I remember he passed out in like Hollywood Boulevard or something like that. Yeah. He was jogging in the valley or something like that, and he literally with like 15 coats on, trying to drop weight. I'm like, screw that, man. Just do what you're doing, and just who cares if you're fat? Just go on and be in a movie. You're Martin, man. Martin, you're Martin.
Now, my one critique would be it took halfway through the movie until he found his groove.
Yes,
I noticed it was uncomfortable watching him at first. Like even his acting style wasn't on his normal game. But then halfway through, I'm like, he picked it up, and I'm like, oh, there he is. That's cool.
I guess I wasn't expecting anything except for a good nostalgia movie because I love these characters, and I got it in spades.
Yeah, well, you want to revisit these characters, and that's why we were talking about this off the air.
Yeah,
a couple days ago, how much I love these the shows that are coming out now, like Roseanne or Roseanne's Family or whatever they're calling the Connors. The Connors. And I'm even watching Fuller House, and again, there's no big twist. It's just where are they now, and that's all it is. There's nobody. Went off somewhere and did this or did that, or it's just where are they now? That's all.
Who's the boss, man? They're coming back.
That's cool. Yeah.
Hey, hey. There's no Mona, so what are we gonna do about that? Angela.
Somebody commented on that. No Mona, I'm not watching. I mean, she was good, but you're gonna watch.
Well, I loved Mona, but she's dead. What do you want to do about this? Jesus.
No need to get angry about it. She's dead. Punky Brewster is also coming back.
I watched one of the not the episode, but I watched like 10 minutes of it, and it was, for what it was, family show. It was a fun family show, and you got Punky Power, man.
Is it already out? I didn't even know it was out.
They aired like 10 minutes of like an episode, or like 5 minutes. So I just saw like her and who's her co-star? Cherry. No, not Cherry. No, her co-stars Freddie Prinze Jr. as
her. No kidding. Yeah.
And he's great. I mean, I've always loved Freddie Prinze Jr.
Sure. But where has he been lately? Jesus.
He's been at home with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and they're like one of the happiest married couples in Hollywood. I mean, as far as we know. But she, I see her online all the time. She's been doing lots of stuff during COVID, just like letting everyone know it's like COVID tip number 5. And then they did the commercial for we do it every night, and he looks at we do it every night, and they're talking about doing the dishes every night because that helps to save water if you do it every night.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy. I finished it. I watched it in 2 days. It's only 10 episodes.
Fantastic. Better than the first season, the more I think about it.
Well, I liked it because it had a lot of historical relevance. There was the whole JFK assassination plot, civil rights.
Yep.
I love, and a lot of shows are taking that route, that can take that route. Like they did that with Watchmen. Watchmen started with that. With
watch The Watchmen yet? I haven't watched The Watchmen yet. But I can't wait. Once I think everything's going over to HBO Max. HBO Max. Yep. And I'm going to get HBO just because that's got so much awesome content on there. All the DC stuff is going to be on there for.
Good.
Yeah, it makes a big difference because I just didn't want to bother with the DC app if they didn't have enough content that I wanted. Because not for nothing, I love having the Disney channel, but let's be honest. Once you binge the Mandalorian and watched all the stuff that you hadn't watched in a while, you're like, there's no new content. They gave us Hamilton. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But then where's the new content? Why do I have this for a year? If I've seen it all in a month.
Jay, we talked about this on your show, and that's Chicken Chat. Rubber Chicken Comics presents Chicken Chat on Tuesday nights. We skipped last week, but we'll do it again this Tuesday. We talked about the Muppets and where are the Muppets, and we heard this was happening, that happened. Guess what? There is a show on Disney Plus now. It's a new Muppet show. I watched episode 1, and it is amazing.
All right.
It is everything you would expect the Muppet Show to be, with skits and sketches and guest stars. And now it's more of an online thing. They're putting together an online show, and they're in between the skits. It's Scooter and Kermit. And they're saying, all right, download this and throw that in there. And they put it in. And all of a sudden, Miss Piggy's thing comes up. And it's so good.
Even the last incarnation of it, I thought it was a great show. It was like a little clunky at first, but then by mid-season of that one and only season, I really thought they hit their stride, and they started doing more skits and goofy stuff like they wanted to. But it was Late Night with Miss Piggy. It was hilarious, man. That was great. Yeah.
So check out the one on Disney Plus. There's only one episode. They're doing the week-to-week thing, which can be a little maddening in a world of binging.
It's smart, just like you said. I mean, if you have everything right there, there's not enough content on Disney. So you need to have that week to week. That's why they did it with The Mandalorian, because like, we're going to at least string you along for 2 months because you can't just get the 1 month free.
Yeah. I was on Disney Plus today. That's where I was watching Fantastic Four from 2015. And I'll scroll through Disney and think like, the Shaggy DA. That like it's a great movie when I was 10 years old, but I'm not going to sit through the whole thing. No. So watching trailers and looking at pictures takes me back, but I'm not investing an hour and a half. I did that with the Herbie series, and it nearly drove me nuts. And my only mistake, it's classic.
You nuts.
It drove me bananas. Yeah. My only mistake was watching it with Annie, who fell in love with it. So I'm like, you want to watch something else? No, we're watching the whole series. I'm like, damn.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But there's not a lot on Disney. So I watched that, and then what was I just watching? Because I got out of that one because it was horrible.
There is a lot on Disney, but the thing is like most of us, especially with families, we've seen it all. Yeah. So like, you revisit the ones you really love, and then it's like, okay, that's it. We've run into a wall now.
But I haven't seen the Three Musketeers, the 90s version, since the 90s. So I started watching that. I'm like, this is kind of fun. Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, I like that. That was actually really cool.
Not a bad look, but that's funny.
Hey, I'm going to tell them to hush up. We're doing a show here.
Guys, we're trying to have a show here.
Sorry. My bad.
Well, what's everyone else drinking?
Let's see. Jeff is drinking Summer.
Treehouse Summer.
Vote Summer from Treehouse. And Justo has got Hopload from Startline. And Ambler's drinking some delicious Acadia spring water. What do you got, Ray?
I have the Moat Mountain Miss V's Blueberry Ale, which ended up being really good. I'm not much of a blueberry guy, but this is pretty good.
That was a mouthful, Ray.
First pub that we stopped at in Conway.
So was this beer. I love that Brian was a Jack guy.
Oh yeah, I was like, and it's funny too because I'm like, that's totally Ray's go-to. Whenever we would go to the bar, it's like shot, and I was impressed with how many shots you actually took a Jack in any given night, especially on a social.
Oh, that's like water to me. Yeah.
So this is one I tried earlier. Brightside IPA from Lone Pine. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Not Twin Pines because there's only one pine now. That's a Back to the Future reference, Ray.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was trying to think of a funny comeback, but I couldn't.
All right, I know that you're reading right now to see if there's anything. It's like, do I put anything on there? No, there's nothing really.
Nothing I got. All right, so I'm gonna go.
Because he wants to come over.
Great to no, not because I want to come over, Amber. Because he wants to come over.
She doesn't realize that she leaned into that.
Should sound like, oh, Ray's coming over.
That would have been great. Oh, fantastic show, Ray. You always put on an amazing, variety for everyone to see.
That's because you're on it.
Thank you.
I'm not coming over until I get an official invitation.
Ray, you can come over if you want.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Justin. All right, Jay. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Rock and roll.
I'm going crazy, sitting on that train, and I don't think I'm ever coming home. Don't think I'm lazy, don't think I'm strange, I do think I'm really just losing it all. 'Cause I'm going crazy, yes, I'm going crazy.